There was a recent writing sample that was shared with me where a boy said, "I like to be able to play baseball when my dad has free time at home. I also like to spend time with my family in general. I love my family as much as I love the iLab."
All right, Manny.
Yes.
Just say your name and what class you're in. Nice and loud.
Now?
Yeah.
I'm Manny Pereira, and I'm in 4M.
Great.
I am making the Great Pyramid of Giza, which is pretty big, and some light strips to put around the tomb. So when people look down, they can see the tomb.
Nice.
And we're also making like a plexiglass top. I usually get to go 2 or 3 times a week to the iLab, and at recess a lot too. So yeah, that's pretty fun.
The boys were given an incentive for behaviors and specials, and they earned their $1.25 that they needed to have a reward. And we had to vote whether they wanted to have an extra recess, have a homework pass, go to the iLab, do some robotics time, and they almost across the board voted for iLab time. So we came to the consensus that iLab was better than recess in 3A.
My goals, actually, my professional goals this year was to incorporate the iLab more into my projects, ways to incorporate what they've learned to a real world project, but to come up and familiarize themselves with the iLab, to learn the tools, to see what kinds of things could be done to enhance their learning, because up until this year, I had never taken a class per se to the iLab. And so, yeah, so it was a tremendous growth experience for me. It was great to be up here with you and Kurt helping out, and with Kim as the experts. You know, having 4 of us here was just fabulous.
Yeah.
Which is hard because when you get involved in something up here, you really, it just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing. It kind of takes a life on it. It takes on a life of its own.
I was supported in something that normally was maybe a little open-ended in terms of my skill set, in terms of my material set, and not really understanding exactly where it would be going and the time frame. But I was able to get support in terms of helping the boys figure out programming, in terms of helping them brainstorm, right, and understand what potential solutions were. And I think more than anything, it was really helpful to have other collaborators working with me to help figure out things such as how much more time the boys needed, to help direct them to sources that would help them kind of do in the engineering, the just-in-time learning, right, to learn throughout the process and help them understand that it's not about the product, it's about, working through multiple iterations to troubleshoot, problem solve, and those are really, skills that I'm more focused on than the final product anyway.
And then we started to really do some more detailed research, reading through some books, and that we partnered with the library to give us a whole bunch of resources, both online and in books. Here is the perfect union point, is when you can look at, because what is the Innovation Lab? It's a makerspace, so building, and that's what this is. And you get to learn the structure of Roman civilization, culture, so well by seeing how they laid out what in their mind, how they laid out their world, and then that translates to the language. So then it's doing it this way. They're able to go so much deeper. They're so excited, and they can tell me about the function of the rooms. There's so much that now they can tell me versus me telling them. And they're really, and then they'll ask me, what is this room again? And then I'll just point them to each other, and they're able to problem solve it. And those are the big skills, are problem solving and pattern recognition are the big things that I look for the boys to take away from lab.
I think I kind of used the boys to get to the iLab because I selfishly wanted to learn what was going on in here, which I think is always nice for students to be able to teach something to their teacher and their teacher be really into it. Oh, that's so neat. Show me how you did that. And the ownership that they felt in being the ones who knew it. Someone, you couldn't change that. You can't force that in a classroom. So putting them in this setting has really helped them stand up and help each other, and no judgment and no competition, and just the betterment of each other and learning. I also kind of joke that a lot of the times in the iLab I am trying to find something to do, because they're so independent and so eager to help each other and beat me to it. If a boy asks for my help, there's always someone there like, oh, wait, I just did that. I can help. I can do that. It takes a little bit of that teacher and student role and makes us all equal and level. And I see that their independence and their confidence has grown through many of the projects we've done.
Cool.